Hello, beautiful souls. So here I am today, Yulia, and I'm doing the reading for November 7th. Now, today we will do it in a slightly different format. I will give you the option to pick from the 3 cards. Just live here, I'm shuffling the cards, and we will pick the main theme of the day for November 7th, and we will dive deeper into that based on your choice. So, card number 1. I am pulling it here. Now, card number 2, all right. Don't worry, I will show you all the cards in this sequence. And card number 3. All right. Okay, so now let's have a look at it together. Here you see card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. So take your time and pick a card which really resonates with you for November 7th. Just think about November 7th and ask yourself this question: what will be the best way for me to ride through the wave of this day? What can I do the best through this day? How can I ride the energy of this day in the best way ever? And just pick the card which really speaks for you. Okay, so first of all, there will be card number 1 reading, and that is the card which I am showing to you now. Ooh. So those of you who picked card number 1, it's father, husband, brother, son. Oh, serious, isn't it? So when I look at that card, I immediately sense that level of utter responsibility within. So there is that theme of taking charge of the day in your hands. Meaning no matter what is swirling around you, you literally continuously remind yourself, oh, in order to ride this cycle of this day in a proper way and really to collect the most harvest out of it, I need to continuously remind myself about taking responsibility. So responsibility code is within, because father is continuously responsible for his children's head. Okay, so I'm as a son as well. I am responsible for how I show up to the world, for my behavior here. So this is a strong responsibility code card. And it's kind of like, hey, I am the master here. And I need to show up to this world today in such a way so that absolutely everyone feel it around me. How does the master show up to this world? That's a question, right? So which kind of behavior do I need to kind of like encrypt in myself so that the theme of the day of the responsibility code will be overlived in a very, very correct way, so that I could grasp the most out of that day. What are the specifics of my behavior which I have to focus on? How do I need to show up to this world specifically? So let's have a look at it. 2 of Pentacles. All right. 3 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. King of Cups. All right. So what I see here is a clear theme to pay attention to that responsibility, again, code, and taking charge, but taking charge also from everything what is happening materially here. Because out of these 4 cards, we have, in fact, 2 materially oriented cards. We have 5 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles. So 2 of Pentacles, you see, it's a clear theme for that centeredness within you. Again, no matter what is swirling around you through that day, you want to continue weaving your thread, taking charge for weaving it. Because things may be swirling around you through the day, but you want to take the charge of that day. And what you can do actually, you can take your journal and write down, I take charge of this day. I take responsibility for how I show up in front of others, on my work, in front of my colleagues. How do I show up today? How do I show up if I have children in front of my children? Because, again, father, and that very active masculine approach is actually encrypted here. It's a very masculine active card, because when we see that card, responsibility, we take charge, we become active in life. So on that day, you want to develop that active approach, taking charge, moving things around, but at the same time in a balanced way, right? So look how she's doing that. She has that patience within her. While everything is swirling around, she's weaving her thread of her story here for this day in a very balanced way, okay? Now, if something happens through the day, in order to find new opportunities of the day, you wanna just encrypt yourself for finding those opportunities. Because once you are in that taking the charge mode, taking the charge theme of the day, what happens is you find resources, you find your pentacles. And guess what? You empty your mind for all the nonsense which is swirling there. And you start seeing new opportunities around you, which are always there, Now, what else is happening is that you develop that utter sense of patience. And guess what? This card I pulled together with this one. So that patience of walking through the day is very important. So you can use even that affirmative statement as I am patient. I am patient, and I am weaving the thread of my day today patiently. It will happen either way, okay? And guess what? If you do it all correctly, you will have that peace in your heart. The King of Cups is all about that emotional center and establishing that peace, that inner peace in your heart. Okay, so I hope you are fully equipped for your day, having in mind that code of taking the charge for it and using all your masculine side, all the masculine active side to deal with the day. Alrighty, so card number 2. We will do the reading right now for those of you who picked card number 2. Alright, so what is the card? Oh, Krishna, find blessing in your current situation. What a wonderful card. So no matter what's happening to you right now, or will happen on the 7th of November, in fact, you want just to focus on that blessing, continuously search for that blessing. I know that sometimes it may sound like a joke, everything around may be like swirling and so hectic, but exactly in those modes, in that dance of life, you start dancing like Krishna. Krishna was a dancer. So Krishna actually is the replica of Vishnu, and Vishnu is a very powerful god in Hinduism because he represents, in fact, balance, that balanced dance with life. So you represent through that day like that dancing queen or king, and you start dancing with everything swirling. That's how you find that rhythm. So in order to find that rhythm, you start searching for that blessing in each and every situation. That's how you rebalance yourself immediately back to center, and you become living representation of Krishna. Can you imagine? Now, which kind of specific behaviors you want to encrypt in yourself during this day in order to write the theme of that finding, searching the blessing through the day correctly. You want to have more specifics, how you show up to this world, right? So that to write this wave, the wave of blessings establishment through the day correctly. So let's have a look at it. Together, 7 of Swords, all right. Queen of Swords, oh, I love this card. I adore this card. From all the cards in the Minor Arcana, I just adore this card. 9 of Swords, oh, you really need to pay attention to your mental activity. 9 of Wands, lots of charge. Different stuff here is happening, so it creates some anxiousness. I see. Oh, Ace of Swords, kind of like bring yourself back to center, cleanse yourself from all the unnecessary thoughts. And Four of Wands. All right. And I feel like we need to have one more supporting card, Four of Swords. Okay, so I see here clear theme. You really need to take care about what is swirling here, because specifically at that day, there may be lots of swirling thoughts in your head. For those of you who picked that card number 2, again, the whole theme is find the blessing. So once you start searching for that blessing in any situation happening to you, what will eventually happen is that you will get back to center instantly. And let me show you how it actually works. So through that day, you will be swirling on the periphery more, So in order to swirl back to center and see situation correctly, you must see it asking yourself a question, what is the blessing? It's just a rule of thumb for that particular day for you. So you ask yourself that question, what is the blessing? What is the blessing for this particular day? All right. And once you do it, you can bring yourself out of this card. Because if you allow those thoughts to swirl like worms in your head, right? So if you allow it, what may happen is you may be fearful, anxious. Look, all these thoughts are like these swords. They are literally attacking this lady here sitting, this goddess, in fact, but she's already not like a goddess. She's like a slave. She's a slave of her thoughts, right? So in order to bring yourself out of that cycle, we must release ourselves from all the thoughts. We must get back to cleansing within our head, come back to the Ace of Swords, meaning we had tremendous amount of thoughts here, and then we get back to pure cleanliness here. Because if we stay into that thoughts swirling, we will charge the situation crazily, because Nine of Wands is already a huge charge. This fire may come out of the borders and burn down to ashes absolutely everything. That's why we see here how Nine of Swords, Queen of Swords appears, and she reminds us this wonderful perspective. She's reflected with this Ace of Swords, in fact, and she reminds us, hey, come back to center. Now you will ask me, Yulia, but how do I release those damn thoughts? Because there is a clear beam for thoughts released. Do you see what's happening? She's releasing those thoughts on both cards, and that's the beam which is, in fact, the major beam for you. How do I release my thoughts through this day? Now, continuously ask yourself a question. Where is the blessing? Yes, I know it might be very challenging, but that's what you want to do. You want to take your pen, you want to take your journal and start writing down. In case if you have my deck, you can open the notes section and start writing, where is the blessing? I have specific sections here for you where you can reflect on that. Now, we can also start encrypting a proper affirmative statement to rebalance ourselves back to the power of the Queen of Swords. Look how she's sitting. She's clearly in the center, and she owns her mind. So let's have a look what the Queen of Swords is telling us. In fact, when I was designing it, I literally put all the affirmative rebalancing statements into each and every card. You can find it also onto my website. You can find it into my booklet. So for those of you who want to dig deeper into the affirmative rebalancing statements for each and every card, just go to the card minutes on calmoura.com. You will see all these in free access there. It's just wonderful what we can do once we start rebalancing our mind properly with affirmations. So Queen of Swords, let's have a look at it. Queen of Swords. I am logical, practical, and strategic, but I let others see my softer side as well. All right? And that exact statement you may write during the day, whenever you see that those swords start attacking you through the day, right? Different thoughts, creating that anxious mode in you. You're already there on the periphery. So you want just to write that affirmative statement helping you. Write it down slowly, at minimum 3 times. And to the best of your ability, what you can do also, you can slow down your breath while you're writing. I promise you, when you write down this, and after that, you ask yourself a question, where is the blessing? You will find already the way how to bless your reality and the way out of your particular situation. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the last card for those of you who picked the 3rd card, and it is Purification. What a wonderful card, Purification, White Tarot. It is all about cleansing your reality on the energy level. That's how I feel it, because behind everything is energy. So absolutely everything what pulls your energy down through the day, you want just to make sure that you walk through the day and be very in tune for everything what kind of like sucks your energy, so that through the day you would continue purifying yourself. Let's say you cannot devote that day to your body purification. It's all right. Pay attention to your energy. It can be body cleanse as well. It's a perfect day for the body cleanse for you. It can be perfect day for your emotional cleanse, for your thoughts cleanse through reflective processes, but behind all again is energy. And she's standing in the center, reminding, hey, behind everything is energy. So please pay attention to everything what actually pulls down your energy, or anything what uplifts it, because in this case, you can replicate it and get even more energy through the day. How is that? So let's see what are the specifics of this day? What do you need to do specifically or pay attention to specifically so that the wave of this purification cycle through this day correctly to take the most harvest out of it, right? 10 of Cups. Wonderful. So when you are purifying, you actually invite even more to come into your life. That's actually very logical. 5 of Pentacles. Oh, the Devil. It goes so much in alignment with purification, in fact, because the Devil represents all the addictions. So this day is kind of like having that supportive theme. Hey, purify all the addictions, either on the body level, emotional level. Let's say somehow someone is triggering you all the way through. So what a wonderful day to purify yourself. So the whole energy of the day will actually support you. It's a wonderful opportunity. You can use it. Hierophant, knowing how. And then you can gain access to the knowledge. Because once we get that purification, once we deal with our inner devil, with our demons inside, with any triggers, right? So let's say some inner child work would be so appropriate. The purification is happening. You leave the space kind of like for something new to come, because once one door is closed, another door is opening. We lift ourselves up. And guess what's happening? We gain access automatically to that knowledge. Wow, this is an amazing day for you just to focus on that purification and invite something new into your life. And when you do that purification, focus on only benevolent things. I would even use that statement, I allow only what I allow, and I allow only good, beautiful, and truthful to come into my space. How is that? So when you say it that way, you will eventually invite the proper knowledge into your life. And it's again about releasing the old knowledge which was torturing you. Do you see? It's coming in coherence together. So, Again, this day is about purification, that inner purification on multiple levels. It can be reflective practices into your mind. It can be purification on an emotional aspect when someone is triggering you emotionally, some inner child work. It can be body purification and energy purification, which is behind everything. All right, so I hope you are fully equipped right now for the amazing wave of 7th of November to come and ride it effectively and powerfully.